My first month after retiring, I came out here in January thinking that the hardy souls that would be out here would be in dire need of angeling. And I spent a week at this very spot in the middle of January in brutal conditions, and I didn't see a soul the whole week. All right. Try it again. A trail angel is kind of a self-appointed term, which is really anyone that helps the hikers along the trails, either by giving out food or helping them get into town with transportation or providing free room and board or just a safe place to be. Then that's all considered things that trail angels do. I angeled for a couple of years before I'd even heard the term. If someone picks up a hitchhiker and that's all they do, then they were a trail angel that day. And to that hitchhiker, that person is a trail angel for the rest of their life because they helped them in a time when they really needed it. A good question is why I do this. And I think the answer is because I enjoy it. I walked the Appalachian Trail in my 20s, mainly the Smoky Mountains. So, I mean, I've known about the Appalachian Trail all my life. The trail is a footpath that stretches from central Georgia all the way up to central Maine. We get about 2,300 people a year that actually attempt to walk the whole thing, and about 10% actually finish it. We're currently sitting in Burningtown Gap, which is in North Carolina. This particular gap here is in a no man's land, a day from any other location where they can really get out. 2 towns. On down. Once I hit my head, I don't think.
Apple, I met you in 2007.
Is that right?
Uh-huh.
How'd you do it?
I finished.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So that would happen in 2007.
Yeah.
That was like in March.
A pure thru hiker is the person that walks the entire trail in 1 year. They start walking and they don't stop. They walk the whole way.
Yeah. Okay.
The actual physical things that they give the hikers is known as trail magic. A lot of times trail magic is actually just anonymous. The hikers will be walking along the trail and there will be a cooler, and in the cooler is Cokes and snacks, and the hikers don't even know who does it. Magic is something that happens that people don't expect. A lot of times it's magic because they don't know how it happened. Last time your friend opted out at Woody Gap, that must have been kind of tough for you.
Oh my gosh, I camped by myself that night and it got down to like the teens, and my water bladder like must have frozen or ruptured somehow and flooded the bottom of my tent. Everything in the tent, the
man.
2-man tent, because I was carrying the whole thing now, froze to the bottom. And I woke up that morning, ripped everything off the tent, pushed it in my pack like no stuff sacks, just stuffed it all in, walked up to my bear line and like cut it out of the tree and left it, threw my food in there, and I marched back down to Woody Gap because I was like, I'm going home, I'm getting like a 1-man tent. I was furious. And then I got home and I walked into my parents' house. I was still living with them while I was in college, and I saw my mom. She gave me a hug and I bawled. I just cried for a whole day.
Several times, hikers have told me that they would have stopped their hike if I hadn't been there. They were just at the point of giving up. They came over the hill, and there I was with my hot dogs and Coke, and that's all they needed to reevaluate and go on.
Come on in.
Hey, look at us. What's up? How you doing? Welcome to Devon. Hey.
The trail magic becomes more common as you get close to the cities because there's more people available that want to help. So my thing is to try to create an angeling camp in a very remote place where it's the least likely that the hikers would expect it.
Because I'm in college until like June, so I figured that was way too late to go northbound. But I like the idea of just hiking home because we're from Georgia.
That's cool, yeah.
So
It's good motivation.
yeah,
Oh.
so that's why I wanted to do it.
Our first trail magic, we were wanting a Coke so bad, and it was at the Kennebec River. And I guess it was July 4th, or just it was after July 4th, after Monson. So, like, she was craving a Coke at the time, and then we saw the trail magic. We saw like bananas, apples, and cookies, and there was a Coke, and we we loved it so much, and we were like so happy.
Yeah.
I was like, I never thought I'd be so happy to drink a Coke.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely just a better appreciation for the small things in life.
Rock dancer.
Yeah.
He helped us out. He like had sandwiches and stuff in the back of so that was our biggest trail magic.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was just like a little bit here and there, and then come up on some trail magic boxes that had nothing in it.
Empty.
And been
Good
gone
news
for a
is
minute.
there's a trail box.
When a thru hiker comes into my camp, I provide hot coffee, hot chocolate, cookies to eat. I try to provide fresh fruit, hot dogs, or some kind of protein. I also provide a ride to town if they need it. Certainly if it's an emergency, then we'll get them to the hospital. The longest stay I've had for a hiker, and I encourage people to stay as long as they want, but normally it's one night. But I have had, in January, I've had people stay as much as a week. You know, there's different groups forming every day around the shelters, so it's a mobile community. The groups you had the day before are not the ones you have the next day. And here, when you're in one place, then you see new people every
I
day.
have to go.
I'm ready to go.
And sorry I couldn't stay longer. I know. Definitely appreciate it.
Okay, hope things work out in front of you.
Oh, thank you. Take care.
Oh yeah.
Did you make that tent yourself?
No, thank you. That's a real compliment, but I quit doing that.
Okay.
Yes. Well packed.
Yeah, it's just well packed. I think it probably weighs close to 40 pounds right now.
Wow.
I don't know.
Once you've hiked for a while,
Pretty
you'll get
heavy.
that.
You brought him home.
Oh yeah?
Really?
The Appalachian Trail has a white blaze, which is a little white rectangle on a tree, and the idea is that you should always be able to see the next blaze to know which way to go. So it's blazed all the way from one end to the other, and that's part of the maintainer's job, is to keep the blazes all visible. When you say that you're an angel, invariably you'll get people that say, I object to that because I go into the wilderness to get away from the luxuries of life, and you're impacting my wilderness experience. That all changes when you're out here and it's snowing and raining Of the thousands of people that have come up, not one time has someone come up to me and resented the fact that I was here. I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, worked for IBM for 30 years, and retired in 2006. As long as I have a retirement income, then I'm going to be able to do this. I mean, why have all the pressure and everything of a job when you can do this? Good morning. Guess what? I got your dogs. They're beautiful. Yeah, I'm up at Burningtown Gap. I got the dogs. I got them tied to trees. Okay, they're going to be up the hill here a little bit ways, okay? They're right on the trail. Okay, we'll see you. Bye-bye.
Once again at 7 p.m., hazardous weather outlook for western North Carolina for this afternoon and tonight. An isolated thunderstorm is possible this evening in portions of the mountains of the western Carolinas and northeast Georgia. These thunderstorms will produce heavy rainfall and cloud-to-ground lightning after midnight.
You ever step in any sort of puddle of any sort, it goes straight up into the insole and gets your foot soaking wet. Backs up, start to get the blisters on the heels there. Just all the rubbing and for the schedule that I have for when I'm supposed to be getting picked up. I only need to average about 16 miles a day. And I'm doing, you know, upwards of 20, 25s, so.
Gee.
So I'll be able to take a couple of zeros and give myself a little bit of leeway when you have rainy days like this. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
right.
take my time. I've had a blast out here. I remember seeing so many of the northbounders, and you know, they were just hating the trail and they were just wanting it to be done, and I just haven't gotten to that point yet to where every single day I just wake up mad just wanting to finish. I mean, there's certain aspects of it that are a little bit rough because, you know, people don't cater as much to the southbound through hikers. A lot of the hostels are closed. A lot of the other services are like I couldn't do the half-gallon challenge because the place was closed. Maine was definitely my favorite state, primarily because you get to the top of these massive peaks and these just super steep climbs, but you're rewarded with just breathtaking views. I mean, day after day after day, and you look around you and all you see is green and more mountains. You don't see a single town, single road, or anything. And as you get further south, you know, it's a little bit more developed. Get to the top of like Mount Washington, and you're just like, oh, what is all this? It's a zoo up here. The daily grind out here, I mean, the routine's the same. You know, you go to sleep at 8, 9, you wake up at 6, you're on the trail by 7:30, and stopping at 5 or 6, and I mean, it's a repetitive motion. And to break up a little bit of the monotony with, you know, some treats, cookie is incredible. I haven't had a cookie in such a long time. Soft drinks, or, I mean, just anything that shows that somebody's actually out there and they care about your situation. I mean, it's a really nice message. It restores your faith in humanity for sure. Oh yes, sir. Dry socks. Thank
Congratulations
you,
on completing your hike.
sir. Absolutely.
Hope to see you again.
Absolutely. Definitely will. I got the card, so
Okay, good.
definitely be looking you up in the future and
Great.
hopefully stay in some kind of contact.
Good, I hope so.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thanks again.
Okay, man. Watch out for that tornado.
Yes, sir.
The Appalachian Trail is a physical and mental challenge. I would be hard pressed to say it was one over the other. It's a journey. People are changed when they do it. When you work professionally, your thanks is your paycheck, and you're expected to take that as your thanks and be happy. You know, you have a job. Here, it's a whole different aspect that you don't experience professionally, and it's great. It really is very gratifying. I think as far as interaction with people, the angeling is probably one of the ultimate things you can do, really. I know angels that are in their mid-80s, so I hope I'm an angel when they bury me, you know?